So spend 5 minutes on any internet audio forum and it becomes very apparent very quickly that there are plugin developers that people love and there are plugin developers that people hate. But there seems to be one developer that is pretty much universally loved by everybody, and that is a company called Valhalla, and that is largely due to this plugin here. So I was super happy to hear Valhalla have released Valhalla Delay, their new delay plugin which has been 3 years in the making. What's up boys and girls, C Lopez back once again with another tutorialism, and today I'm obviously going to be looking at Valhalla Delay. I'm going to do a walkthrough of the different features of the plugin, we're going to have a listen to some of the presets, and then we're going to have a listen to what it sounds like within the context of a track. So first up I want to talk about the GUI. I really love this, it's really simple, functional, there's no messing about, really easy to use, and you can dial in anything you want right from the get-go without having to flick through various screens or having to do any research on the hardware that it's based on. None of that, just dive straight in, use it straight away. Simple, effective, love it. So just as with the reverb, the GUI is fully resizable, which you've got to love. So the plugin is broken down into 7 main sections with a mode select, era select and preset manager just underneath, and at the bottom we have this help section which changes in readout as we hover our mouse above the different dials. So I've just got a snare drum playing in solo and we're going to use this to listen to the different styles and modes. So first up, let's have a listen to the styles. To begin with, we have a single mode which gives you the same delay length and modulation for the left and right channels. That sounds like this. We have dual, which gives you independent delay lengths for the left and right channels. That sounds like this. Next up we have ratio. Now in ratio mode, the delay in the right channel is going to be a percentage of whatever you have set in the left channel. For example, if I set the ratio to 50%, then what's coming out the right channel should be 1/32. So let's have a listen to that. Next we have ping pong, which is a delay that bounces between the left and right channel, and that sounds like this. And finally we have quad. Now quad models the multi-head tape echoes of the 60s and 70s with up to 4 delay taps on tap, and that sounds like this. So in quad mode we can decide how many of the 4 taps we actually want on. And we have this button here which lets us switch between swell and repeat. So in swell the feedback comes from all of the taps summed together. In repeat the feedback just comes from the last tap. So let's have a play about with that. Very cool. So I'm going to switch the style back to dual and let's have a listen to the different modes. So first up we have tape mode, which is modelled after vintage tape echoes. That sounds like this. Next up we have hi-fi, which is a higher fidelity tape echo. That sounds like this. So a little bit cleaner, a little bit more bright than the tape echo. Next up we have BBD, which stands for Bucket Brigade Delay Model. Let's turn the feedback down and have a listen. After that we have digital, which is a cleaner, higher bandwidth delay. Let's have a listen to that. Next up we have Ghost mode. Now Ghost is a Valhalla DSP original mode, which combines the tape model from the hi-fi mode with frequency shifting and a diffusion algorithm. So let's have a listen to that. Cool. We have pitch, which is a digital delay with added pitch shifting. So let's have a listen to that. And finally we have rev pitch, which is reverse pitch shifting. So everything that goes in comes out reversed. And let's have a listen to that. So as well as the mode section, we also have this era section, and in the era section we can choose between past, present and future. So whichever era we are in is going to affect the mode by changing the algorithms in that mode, such as the filters, the saturation, the smoothing and the diffusion behavior, etc. So let's switch the mode back to hi-fi and let's get into the other controls. So I've had a little play about with this already. It's pretty straightforward if you've ever used any kind of delay plugin before, but let's go through it anyway. So with the two dials up here, we can set the delay amount for the left and right speakers independently when we're in dual mode. We can change it so the increments are noughts, dotted, triplet or free running, which gives you a value of milliseconds. This next section here we have feedback, which is going to give you the amount of delays that happen. So if you go over 100% with the feedback, the delay just feeds back into itself and you'll get this never-ending feedback loop. So next up we have width. So when the width is set to 100%, the left delay will be 100% in the left speaker, the right delay will be 100% in the right speaker. As we move it down to 0%, it becomes a mono delay, and we can actually go into the minus numbers here. So as we go down to minus 100, the delays are reversed. So the right delay will be in the left speaker, the left delay will be in the right speaker. Next up we have the color section. Now drive controls the saturation on the input, and underneath that we have age. Now age controls the amount of artifacts in the specific algorithm, and by algorithm I mean mode. So what age does will be different depending on which mode you are actually in. So let's switch it to tape and let's have a listen to the color and drive dials. So next up we have this diffusion. And diffusion gives you a kind of reverb kind of sound, so it's really common when we're using delays to put a reverb after the delay just to make it sound a little bit more smooth and help it sit better in the mix. With Valhalla Delay we actually have a kind of reverb built in, so let's have a listen to that. After that we have a modulation amount, which is going to set the modulation amount on the delays. If we actually set that to tape, the modulation controls change to wow and flutter. Now this relates to the way modulations would occur when recording onto tape, or in this case a tape echo. Now wow is what happens at the kind of low end and flutter is what happens at the high end. So let's have a listen to this. Now personally I'm not hearing a whole lot going on there, but possibly just my ears, possibly my headphones, possibly I'm just not well educated enough, but there we go. Now if we go to pitch, this modulation section is going to let us change the pitch modulation, so let's have a listen to that. We can go right up to 2 octaves, which is pretty cool. And I believe the same will be applied if we go to reverse pitch, so let's have a listen to that. Awesome. And finally we have an EQ section, which is just a high pass and a low pass. Let's switch that back to hi-fi and let's have a listen to that. Cool, so that high pass and low pass is obviously just affecting the delay, it's not affecting the incoming signal. Alright, so let's have a listen to some of these presets. So like I said before, when I have this mix button pressed in, it will keep my wet dry amount regardless of what preset I'm in. So if we have a look, we can see there are a ton of presets to go through. So yeah, let's try some of these, see what happens. Awesome, I could be here all day just listening to delays on a snare drum. Anyway, let's have a listen to it within the context of a track and let's see what I've done. So this is the little demo track I came up with for this. Have a listen to this electric guitar. So this is coming out of VG Sparkle, and I'm just using the preset ambient parrot. So let's take that off and on. That's such a cool sounding preset. Let's have a listen to this pitched down organ, which is just a sample, and I'm using the preset Beat Reverser Lo-Fi 1 bar on this. So let's just loop this around and have a listen. So that's with the delay, and let's have a listen without. And with. Again, very cool. It just so happened that this preset fit that sample perfectly. And finally, let's have a listen to the delay on the vocal here. So again, just another preset. And this time we have the hi-fi pop vocal. So let's just loop that round and let's have a listen.
The only thing I gained from you.
Let's take it out.
The only thing I gained from you. The only thing I gained from you.
Very, very cool. And let's have a listen to everything again back in the track. Listen to those delays, awesome. So that's the Valhalla Delay. I've only been using it for a day or two, but I think pretty much this is going to become my go-to delay plugin. There's only one or two criticisms. Well, I don't know if I can call them criticisms. Maybe requests for the future would be a better thing to say. So first up, I would very much like to see a swing value on there, just so I can get the delays grooving. Obviously I make a lot of house music, it's all about the groove and the swing, so a feature like that would be awesome. I also wouldn't mind seeing some kind of internal sidechain and ducking. I mean, I know it's not too difficult to set up a compressor after the delay and set it up on your own, but a lot of the delay plugins nowadays have that feature inbuilt and it would be a nice little addition. But apart from that, I absolutely love this thing. So simple to use, sounds awesome. Yeah, love it. So anyway, that's it for now. C. Lopez, Tutorialism. Peace.